Good morning, my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. I am most active on Instagram these days. Got a terrible reflection here, it's awful. And welcome to Vlogtober day 25. Today I would have normally been in the shop having a one-to-one sewing session with Irene, but she's unable to make it this week. So I am at home, and it's a work day still, but working from home, but not really today. So the 2 hours I would have had with Irene, I'm going to use that to have a tidy up in my craft room, ready for my mammoth sewing session, which is probably going to start maybe tomorrow or Sunday. But other than that, today it's going to be sort of baking, doing the cakes and that ready for tomorrow's Halloween party with the grandkids. So we're on with that pumpkin cake. I've never actually cooked a cake in a Pyrex bowl before, so this should be interesting. I just hope it turns out okay. So I need to get that sort of made this morning so it's got time to settle and firm up, so we can actually start cutting it and get the centre filling in, and then so excuse me, then so Adele can start actually carving the shape of a pumpkin. And then depending what time it is that we get this done, we might get a chance to put the fondant icing on tonight, and we might not, it might have to be tomorrow. What else I've got to do? I need to make some bread. I think I'm going to do a couple of loaves of bread today while I'm actually at home. So it'll probably be just a basic white loaf, which Jake likes that, and then I'm going to do a flavoured one. So I think I'm probably going to have to sit down a little bit later on, have a look through my book and just decide on which one to do, because if I do a flavoured one, I like to try a different one each time. I don't want to keep doing the same one now over and over again, even though Kevin still wants a tomato one. I think he's going to have to wait. I've got my morning cup of tea, Yorkshire tea, my nice mug. I've not had breakfast yet. I think I'm going to leave it and have brunch today. I've got some bacon that needs using up, so I'm probably going to have a bacon sandwich because I've got no more tomatoes left. I used them up the other day because I would like to get the cake in and get that done and dusted. Well, the weather is definitely turning cooler now. So last night, while I was cooking tea and just waiting for things to finish off, I decided to do, a meal plan for next week. And I was looking through this Grandma's Best Recipes, because I've actually only ever used this for the nut loaf. I've never really bothered with anything else. It tells you how to roast a chicken and how to make a bacon sandwich, apart from other things. There's like beef Wellington in there, and bread and flapjacks and pancakes, and it's all kinds. It covers a lot of things. So I had a good flick through it last night, and I found one or two recipes that I'd like to try. So I have made my list of meals that I'm going to do for next week. I'm going to do a winter vegetable cobbler, which is that, and I think that looks really nice and everybody can have it. And the next one I quite fancy doing is, let me just find it in the book, is a roasted butternut squash risotto. I mean, we do have risotto, but that looks nice. We all like butternut squash, so that'll go down well with everybody. And then I thought I might do a macaroni cheese. I mean, I'm not a fan of macaroni cheese, but homemade one is different. I don't mind that, and it's not something I've made actually for a long time. And then I'm going to have a vegetable korma one night as well. And I quite fancy doing vegetable cannelloni, cannelloni, because I've not done that for a long time, so that will do everybody. And pizza. And I think one day I'm going to do leek and potato soup and make like an Eve's pudding. And if you don't know what Eve's pudding is, it's a recipe out of the Bureau book, and it's a Victoria sponge mix, and you've got like fruit at the bottom. It's mainly apple, but I suppose you can really put in what you want, or whatever's in season, and that is really nice, especially if you have some custard with it. So yes, I think I'll probably do that. So now I just need to sort of decide on if I need to make any cakes or what other kinds of desserts to do instead of actually buying things from the shop. So now I've got sort of a starter on my list of what meals I want to do. I can actually go through my cupboards and see if I've got all the supplies needed, which some things I won't have, I know that. I think we're out of risotto rice, but yes, so I'm trying to be back to being organised again now. Oh dear. Well, I've just been on the bank because I had to pay my rent this morning, so I just thought I'd just go and do a bit of admin and see what was there. And I've noticed off Amazon there was 3 payments taken out of my account yesterday. Now one of them I do know about because that's arriving today, but the other 2 were like £9.99 and it was for Kindle. Now I've just checked on my Kindle and there's nothing there at the minute, so I'm just wondering if I've pre-ordered a couple of books earlier on in the year, because I have a tendency to do that and then it's like months later and I've forgotten about it. So well, I think I might alter my account on there, take that card off and just put another one on and just only put the money in that I want to use, so I can keep a check on it just in case somebody's gone onto my account. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's just, you know, like I say, I've ordered a couple of books and forgotten about them, but so I need to sort that out today. So yes, I'm just going to finish my nice cup of Yorkshire tea and then I'm going to get on the baking. Well, this is my Pyrex bowl that I'm going to be using to do the pumpkin cake. So this is going to be an experiment today, so I'm going to do, I might have to do 2 of these to get a decent sized cake, but we'll see. Right, the recipe I'm using for the cake is out of the Bureau book, and it's a Victoria sandwich. It's not a very, you don't get a lot of cake mixture, so I think I'm going to have to double up. I just hope I don't do too much and it overflows. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Okay, I mean, I've just got my butter out of the fridge, so I'm just chopping it up roughly in my mixing bowl, and then I'm just going to leave it here for a little bit until it softens up. And then I will put the sugar in and get that creamed. Then I can add the flour and the eggs, and I think I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla flavouring in this one. I mean, this butter is Yorkshire butter and it is relatively soft actually for a butter that's just come out of the fridge. It's not bad at all. I don't think you could spread it on bread though. You need to let it soften up a little bit, but it's nice butter. That's the air freshener again. They're very noisy, these air fresheners. Right, there we go. So I'll just leave that to soften up a little bit more, maybe for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's good to go. Now I'm making some just white bread, but I'm using the rapid setting on the bread machine. So I think that'll knock about an hour off it, which is good. So I've just got some water, vegetable oil and flour in my tin here, and I'm just putting in some skimmed milk powder now. And next I'm going to put in some salt. And then I need some sugar. And then last but not least, I need some yeast. I get my yeast from Lidl, and it comes in little sachets, and then I've just emptied the sachets into one of my kiln jars, which is a lot better than messing around with little packets. Right, so that's all done now, ready to go in the machine, and then I can get on with something else. Sorry for the noise in the background, that is the bread machine, as I've just put the bread on. I'll sort of show you these. I've got some edible eyes from Asda yesterday, so they're going to go on some cupcakes. I think I might just do maybe like a ghost, so it's just a cupcake with some white fondant icing on, and then put a couple of little eyes on. I don't want to make too many cakes, otherwise the kids will just fill up on cakes and nothing else. But yeah, so it's 11:30 now. The first cake's in the oven, and it's going to take quite a while to actually cook. So I'm going to prepare the mixture for the next cake. My butter's softening, so I'm just going to leave that there for a bit. So I think I'm going to have something to eat now, because it's still morning, so it's still classed as brunch. So I'm going to cook some bacon up, and I'll just see if I've got any bread. I might not have any bread. So, oh dear, I don't know. I'll have to see what I can get. Anyhow, so I thought I might as well make the most of this little bit of free time and do a little bit of knitting, do a little bit on my robin socks. So I might get a little bit more knitting done today than I thought. So yes, because I can't go too far away from the oven, because I've got to keep an eye on this first mixture, because I don't know how long it's going to take to cook. Because for one mixture it takes about 45 minutes. So I've got a double mixture, so I need to keep an eye on it, and then I can make a note of it and I'll be good to go for the next one. But I also need to stop in the house, because I've got an Amazon delivery coming. It's a table which I'm going to take down to the shop, because where my shop counter is, it's just like two shelving units put back to back with the till on and the coffee, well, not the coffee machine, it's like a kettle at the side, and my sewing machine is sat in the corner. I will have to show you a before and after picture if I get all this done this weekend. My sewing machine is sat in the corner, and there's hardly any room to swing a cat. I mean, I can do little bits, but even just sewing a project bag is difficult. So I decided I need to sort of revamp that area, and I've bought a table. I have measured the space. I'm just hoping it's going to fit in, and then maybe I can put one of the shelving units either at the side or at the front of the desk, and I'll have room still for my till, and I've got a little corner where I could put my small shelving unit with my kettle on, which is going to be out of the way of anybody coming in and out of the shop. So that is my plan, to go down to the shop on Sunday and do a little bit of reorganising. But we shall see. Depends how things go this weekend and what happens, what we've got to do and things like that. So now I'm going to cook my, well, have some breakfast. And I'm just about to cream the butter and sugar together. This is the first cake just out of the oven. It's not risen up very much. I'm a bit disappointed in that. And that's taken 80 minutes to cook. So I'm hoping the next one's a little bit better, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a pumpkin out of this. It just doesn't look big enough, but yeah, well, we'll see. Well, that was a bit of a disaster. Would not come out of the Pyrex bowl. I greased it well and it's just broken. I did leave the cake to cool down a bit, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I think I might just make a cake in an ordinary cake tin and see if we can use part of this to give it some shape then on top. I don't know, I'm going to have to see. At least it'll get eaten. Like I say, somebody will have it with custard. I don't know. Well, it's a very dull day today and it's just pouring it down with rain. So I'm in the front room at the minute and I've put my lights on my shelves, and I've got my orange Halloween lights on the hearth, and I have lit 5 candles. So I'm just going to sit here and chill out for a bit, get my knitting out, because after that bit of a disaster with the cake, do I try again? And if I do, it could just turn out the same. So what I've decided to do now is just make an ordinary sponge cake and put some frosting in, and just make sure it's something the kids like, and cover it with the orange fondant that we've got. And then maybe, if there's enough, I mean, I presume we can make some pumpkins out of the fondant, maybe and sit that on top, or I don't know, or decorate it up somehow different so it is still a Halloween cake. It's just not a pumpkin. As it's now, oh, what time is it now? It's now 1:30, and I haven't really achieved much this morning, so well, this afternoon, this morning, so it's a bit disappointing really, but hey ho, so there we go. There's not much you can do about it. But having said that, I had a very nice surprising email not that long ago. As some of you probably know, I trade at some of the smaller quilt shows, or I have done. I've done 3 up to now, and I wanted a little bit of a change because some of these shows go over 4 days, which is fine, but when you've got a business to run and you don't drive, that means Kevin has to have at least 2 days off work, and it's a lot of hard work, and it sort of interrupts everybody else. So I thought, oh, well, it might be nice to do some local yarn shows, but there's not many sort of local to me. I mean, there's the Wool Monty, that's in Sheffield, which is not too far away. So I did apply for that one, but they didn't want me. so that was a bit disappointing really, because I don't know why. So then I applied for another one, which is Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Now I applied for that probably a few weeks ago, and I thought this will probably come back. They don't want me neither. I mean, I don't do indie dye yarn or anything like that. It is commercial yarn. I have sock yarn, commercial sock yarn. And I got an email back this morning, and they're offering me a place, so that's fabulous. So I've got my invoice, so I'm going to get that paid today. So that event's being held at Sand Hutton, I think it is, near York. So that's not too far from us. So it's a one-day thing. So that'll be nice. So yes, I'm looking forward to that. But it's the end of next month, so it's going to be a bit of a rush, I think, on some things. I'll get some project bags made up there. Get some yarn ordered in. Yeah, I'll need to get cracking on making some stitch markers and progress keepers and a few other bits and pieces, because I've been sort of planning out actually for some new things I'd like to stock in my shop, my Etsy shop I'm talking about, for next year. So I've got a few ideas, so it's all fun, lots of planning. I disappear for 5 minutes and there she is in my spot on my good cushion. It's the start of the pumpkin. Tentacles. Why are there tentacles?
Because that's what's in the book.
Okay.
You wanted it exactly like in the book, right?
Well, as best as we could. And this is going to be brain jelly. And I'm going to call it a day now. Time's getting on. As you've seen, I was managed to sort of shape a pumpkin. It's not finished yet, but it's a start. So we'll get it all decorated up in the morning. And I'm going to decorate the cupcakes up in the morning as well. I didn't manage to get that second loaf done because I've been making the most of getting some knitting done tonight. And I'm nearly finished the foot. I think I've got 10 more rounds to do before I need to do the toe. So I'm going to have a cup of tea now and try and get that bit finished, at least the foot. If you can hear that sort of tap 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 noise, it's Tabby. He's pottering up and down the kitchen, and you can probably hear the rain as well. I think he's getting ready for his supper. So yeah, I've had quite a busy day really. Excuse me, I've got a cough again. Well, I'd like to say thank you for joining me. It's been lovely to have your company today, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.